Do you remember the story of the boy who cried wolf? The first time people believed him, the villagers ran up the hill to save the boy's sheep from the wolf, only to find there was no wolf. The second time when the boy cried wolf, the villagers ran up the hill again, but again there was no wolf. The third time when the boy cried wolf, the villagers were convinced they were being fooled again, so no one went up the hill. But this time there was a real wolf and it went after his flock of sheep. The boy had no help. The story ends with the villager comforting the shepherd boy. He is told nobody believes a liar even when he is telling the truth. Every toddler, every preschooler is familiar with this cautionary tale, but one prince needs a reminder tonight. I hope Prince Harry is listening, because today no one is believing him. Just like they didn't believe the boy who cried wolf, and the reasons are not too different. Harry wants us to believe things that are extremely hard to digest. Some are laughable. Others will make you spit out your morning coffee. Many are dangerous allegations. But here we are, talking about them. The world is hooked on to a cheesy soap opera with dramatic plot lines. So grab your popcorn, because tonight I want to introduce you to the actors of this not-so-Shakespearean tragedy. Harry's story is slapped on the headlines across the world. I'm sure you've seen them. And why wouldn't they be? The story has drama, imagination, stage sorrow, famous names. It even involves interacting with the dead. It also involves killing terrorists in a battlefield, fighting for his wife's honor. It's like a Bollywood movie commanding suspension of disbelief. Throw in a few action sequences and you may just have this year's first blockbuster hit. In his upcoming memoir, Spare, yes, there's a book deal at the root of all this theatre. Harry claims he has killed 25 people in Afghanistan. Let me now read out excerpts as they are being reported by the British press. I'm quoting. "It seemed to me essential not to be afraid of that number, so my number is 25. It's not a number that fills me with satisfaction, but nor does it embarrass me." Harry goes on to say, you can't kill people if you see them as people. What do you see them as then, Harry? Chess pieces, writes the prince. The metaphor is very problematic, I'll tell you why. You see, Harry served in the British Army for 10 years. He did undertake 2 tours of Afghanistan. In the first one, he served as a forward air controller. In the second one, he piloted the Apache helicopter. But did his role involve shooting targets? Even if it did Harry really need to be so crass about it? Remember, the British troops are being accused of committing war crimes in Afghanistan, and now you have the British prince telling the world that the Taliban were not seen as humans, but chess pieces. Now, a senior member of the Taliban, Anas Haqqani, has said that the people Harry claimed he killed in Afghanistan were not chess pieces, they were humans. He says, and I quote, "Mr. Harry, the ones you killed were not chess pieces, they were humans. They had families who were waiting for their return." Haqqani went on to say, among the killers of Afghans, not many have your decency to reveal their conscience and confess to their war crimes. Now do you get what we're talking about? What Harry sought to achieve by narrating this story is obvious. He wasn't happy being just an entitled prince. He also wanted to be seen as a war hero, as a husband out to protect his wife's honor. Cry me a river. It's 2023. Do we really need a husband to be guarding his wife's honor? But the question is, how many people are really believing him? How many of you are feeling sorry for this crying prince or for the royal family and the mud it's being dragged through? I'll tell you what's ironical. It's better for Harry that people brush his claims aside, like the boy who cried wolf, because otherwise he's up for trouble. There's a reason why countries don't like to reveal the identity of their troops who serve in war zones, because that makes them vulnerable to revenge attacks. Entitled and ignorant Harry is inviting such attacks. And just for the record, I'm not saying this. Experts in the United Kingdom are. They are worried that Harry's claims amount to a security threat. Harry has some more bombshells to drop, which amount to utter ridicule, mockery. When you say you're beaten up by your older brother, the claim is believable. Obviously, I don't get why this is national news or international news. Why does Harry want to tell the world about it? Sibling fights are not front page news. But when you want the world to believe that someone has been relaying late Princess Diana's messages to you, that's when you become the boy who cried wolf. That's when you become a walking joke. Everything you say after that meets the same reaction. And that, who exactly are you trying to fool, Harry? Harry does not say where he met this woman with these so-called powers or when. He writes, I'm quoting, "The minute we sat down together, I felt an energy around her. The woman allegedly told Harry that your mother is with you. Harry says, I know I felt that off late. This woman insists that Princess Diana was with him at the moment. The late Princess Diana. Right now, she says, adding that Diana knows Harry is quote-unquote looking for clarity. I'm having a hard time saying all this with a straight face. I hope you're having a good laugh too." This is just the beginning. Harry writes that there was an incident recently where a Christmas tree ornament in the shape of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, was accidentally smashed by his son Archie. Guess what? He wants us to believe that Diana knew about it. How? Because she was present when this happened. Quick reminder, Princess Diana died in 1997, but Harry says a woman told him that Diana has been around. He asked for proof, and the woman said, your mother says something about a Christmas ornament of a mother, of a grandmother. It fell, it broke. Archie tried to fix it, says Harry. Your mother says she had a bit of a giggle about that. Trust me, I'm not making any of this up. We are now venturing into conversations with the dead, presence of spirits, ghosts coming back to giggle at the people they disliked. Perfect silver screen stuff. But extremely hard to believe when written in a book. So why is this prince crying wolf? It's obvious he's desperate for attention and he's ready to overtell his version of a story as many times as required to make millions. To overtell and, of course, oversell. Remember the memoir. But Harry must realize that just like the villagers in The Boy Who Cried Wolf, his audience is not foolish. They may have believed him when he said the British press wronged his wife. They may have believed him when he accused the palace of planting stories. But with Afghanistan and stories about talking to the late Princess Diana, Harry is now drifting into dangerous territory. His encounters with ghosts of the past will come to haunt him in his present. When he stepped away from royal roles, many respected his decision. His want for privacy, his desire for normalcy. But now we see a desperation for staying in the headlines all the time. The Oprah interview, the docu-series, the book, and all the drama which has followed. It's a theatre production, there's no doubt about it. I have to say, Harry is doing some great method acting. He may not be remembered for a lot, but he will go down in history as the prince who cried wolf. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.